Hello and welcome back, guys, to another episode of the All Balls pre-games. We have our last final group games on match day 3 before we walk into the round of 16 fixtures. In with me today, I have none other than our stat man, Mr. Kyle Pereira, and we have a special guest with us. She's a footballer herself, and she's also a member of the International Paralympic Committee. Niyati Barucha, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys.
How's it going? Been a busy day or
All good. It's been a busy last 2 years.
a busy last 2 years? And Kyle, looking very sprightly in your England jersey.
Of course,
Happy
man.
for the win, yeah?
Happy for the win. You should be happy. Bukayo Saka put in a shift of his life.
Yeah, well, I mean, I honestly was afraid thinking that it would backfire on Southgate, but we'll get to more than that. So let's actually talk about yesterday's games, guys, before we talk about tonight's games. Starting off with Croatia versus Scotland. KP, hold. Don't worry, we'll get to England. But Niyati, what do you think about Croatia finally showing their class at the end against the Scots?
I was actually more focused on Scotland in that game because they opened their account after I don't know how many years of silence. So that was great. Felt really good. I'm. This is so typical of anyone from Mumbai, but I went to Bombay Scottish School. So for me, like between Scotland and Croatia, especially since Croatia beat England when I was in England,
Uh,
um, for me, I was really like gunning for the underdog yesterday because Croatia, like you're saying, right? Croatia hasn't, they just haven't shown up
mhm.
at their previous games. It was actually nice to see Modric playing in a really odd position, but playing really well through the tournament. He's been okay. I think people have unrealistic expectations on these like one single star players, and we kind of end up forgetting that there's 10 other men on the field. Um,
True.
but I think they made up for it. They made up for it last night for sure, and they just about stuck their foot into the round of 16.
Absolutely. And KP, I mean, it must have been wild for the stats, but you have anything for us in terms of that game?
No, not really, honestly, because I didn't see the game going anywhere. And then suddenly Modric just popped up with that worldie of a goal and then he fell to the ground because he knew that was the goal to qualify them into the last round of 16.
Yeah, fair enough. And again, now we come to the more juicier part. England versus Czech Republic. Niyati. Again, it was a good performance by England, a good defensive performance by England, but this attack is tending to worry people. And Kyle, again, I will get to you at this point, but do you think England still, I'm sure England has the defensive chops to go further in this tournament, but what are they lacking now in the front?
Uh, I have a problem with the front. I really want to see more action from Harry Kane. I think that's the one player where like you put expectations on him, and most of the times in the Premier League he shows up, and then internationally is just when it really counts he's lacking. Maybe it's the pressure getting to him, or I don't know what, but at that level the pressure shouldn't be getting to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
Um,
I completely agree with you. And I mean, he's had such a stellar season. And KP, I'm sure you can back us up as well. Like,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
uh, again, it's going to be a long tournament because I mean they have progressed, and of course Harry Kane still has time to come good. But KP, again, Gareth Southgate taking a gamble, putting in Saka instead of Jadon Sancho, and it
You
somehow worked
know,
out.
yeah, having said that, first of all, I do agree with Niyati that Harry Kane has not really stepped up because even that one-on-one which he had against Vashlik, I really thought Harry Kane in the Spurs jersey would have put that away. Left foot, right foot, doesn't matter which, or header. But he just missed out. Even one-on-one with the keeper again when Jordan Henderson put that ball over, he couldn't control it in time. But
Hmm.
having said that, when you say that Gareth Southgate took that gamble to put Saka in over Jaden, when they were talking about in the pre-match press conference, he was asked why has he put this, why has he put Saka over Jaden, and
Hmm.
then he refused. He kind of deflected the answer, but then when they came back and Ian Wright, he said that when he was watching the Arsenal game, they played Slavia Prague and Arsenal beat Slavia Prague, and Saka played in that game. And this guy who played bottom, who played left back, had to get subbed off at halftime. That's why Gareth Southgate took that punt and said, I'm going to play Saka because he's already played this guy. And because of Saka, he had to get subbed off at halftime. And I think Arsenal won that game comfortably.
No, well, again, for England, live to fight another day. Congratulations, KP. I mean, good for you. Let's move on though now to tonight's games. We have a lot of games to discuss. It's coming off with the first group, and my tablet has gone off, but I do remember the first game, and I'm guessing it's going to be Sweden versus Poland. It's going to be a very difficult game. Niyati, how do you see this game going?
Ooh. So the Sweden game so far, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but there's a tempo that's really missing. There's pace that's really missing. If Poland comes in today and brings the pace that they brought in the last game, maybe they'll tip the scales in their favor. But looking at the table, it's going to be very difficult for Poland. It's the same situation with Poland as it is with Croatia, right? You've got Lewandowski there, and everyone's just expecting, miracles from him, but he's got 10 other men that need to support him. And if you've got a defense that's either not feeding the balls right, losing the balls, not able to kind of push back to the rest of the teams in that group, you're kind of digging your own grave there. So it's tough. It's going to be an interesting game for sure. I just hope both of them bring the pace for this one, because what I've noticed is it's not Euro 2020 pace from both Sweden and Poland so far. The Sweden-Spain game was I couldn't watch. I'm sorry, I couldn't watch that.
Yeah, I'd rather watch paint dry. I completely agree with you. And KP, I mean, yeah, it's now I'm beginning to feel like I tipped Lewandowski to be like Golden Boot winner in this group, and it's completely backfired on me. But do you honestly think also that it's just the postseason fatigue, or it's just that they haven't gelled well, or what is wrong with this Polish squad? Because Sweden technically is already qualified. I mean, mathematically at least. So what does Poland have to do to get out of this game?
I mean, you can't really say anything bad about Lewandowski, to be honest. In that Poland, he puts on that Polish shirt, he has been directly involved in 14 goals in his last 12 games for Poland. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know if, as Niyati is saying, that there's not enough support from Zielinski, from Klitsch, from from Gillick. They're just not gelling well as you thought, because obviously the keeper can't kick the ball right up to Lewandowski. It has to reach him somehow. And I mean, going into this game, Sweden have won 9 out of the 11 games against Poland, and we know that they've kept 2 clean sheets in their 2 previous games. Of course, that Spain was a very, very, very bad game for Euro 2020 game, to be very honest. And yeah, I mean, even Poland, that formation I don't think it's worked. The 3-5-2, I don't think it's working for them at all, because they've only won one of their 9 matches in a row, and they've drawn 4 and lost 4. So pretty all over the place, if you ask me. But having said that, exciting talent to look out for, I think Niyati would back me up, is Alexander Isak. He's playing most dribbles against Slovakia. 6 dribbles past that defense. It's the best since Euro 92. So who knows?
Yeah. I think the one thing that's for sure come out of the Euros is some class football, some absolutely world-class football. Great dribbles, great ball control. Already there's even just in the group stage, there's been some incredible goals out 30, 40 yards out of the box. It's been super exciting. But yeah, I'm upset that Ibrahimovic is in the Sweden.
No, well, he is immortal. So who knows? We might just see him for next year's World Cup. I mean, at the rate he's going, he might just surprise us all. But score predictions, guys. And Niyati, I'm going to ask you again. With Sweden already qualified, it looks like Poland really desperately have to win. So where do you think the scoreline is going to be?
I have a bad feeling it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Don't blame me for this, but from what I've seen, that's what I think. Although I feel like Poland will shine today because of the pressure. I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
hoping Bednarek scores a really nice goal because he's been making so much effort. That guy is such a hardworking player.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully today he's not denied. And
Fingers
yeah,
crossed. Yeah, yeah, fingers
fingers
crossed. And,
crossed.
and yeah, and Kyle, again, I mean, what do you think would be your score prediction? Are you
Uh,
going to agree with Niyati or?
honestly, I have to agree with her because both, again, it's going to be the same situation where both the keepers are really good keepers, and Robin Olsen and Wojciech Szczesny. Again, 1-1 if they don't, I don't know, if they don't concede like that to Victor Lindelof's mistake or something, or Jan Bednar like getting a red card, but I see it going as a
Oh,
1-1.
yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Good predictions there, guys. Moving on to our next game, though. It's Slovakia versus Spain. Spain. I've never thought that I would actually put Spain and boring football in the same sentence. But Niyati, I mean, what has gone wrong with the Spanish team? I mean, they're still in this tournament. They just got to win this game. It's a must-win game for them. But what do you think has been lacking in the Spanish squad so far?
I'm sorry, but this is just how Spain's been playing for the last 6, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But at one point, when Spain won, um, when Spain won the Euros, when they did, it was against the Dutch team, and at that time, I was supporting the Dutch team, and I remember watching it. I was in Dubai at the time when I was watching the game. I was the only person in a Dutch jersey in a sea of like just Spain jerseys.
Uh-huh.
And I don't. It was an exciting team at that time. Right? There
Mm-hmm.
was Fernando Torres just flying all over the field. Nobody knew. Like, you think he's on one side, he's gone to the other side. By that point, he scored, and it was all very exciting. And then after that, this is how Spain plays football, and it's been shocking. It's just that they've lost a lot of pace when they should be attacking. They're passing the ball back and trying to make space on the pitch. They're not able to penetrate defense. They're not able to do their tiki taka football and get through. And even if a pass is a good pass, it's blocked. The Spain Sweden game was, I mean, if we played like that, if I played like that with my club in Germany, my coach would be screaming for me to not be walking on the field.
Fair enough. I mean,
So
KP, I mean, Niyati's got a really good point there, that it's a golden generation of Spanish footballers that this Spanish squad has to fill the boots of. And it's clearly not working out. I'm sure this is definitely a team for the future because they are young. But again, like, what do you think is that magic kind of actually, yeah, what is that magic that they need now to kind of just get them through this?
I don't know honestly what that magic is because like I fully agree with Niyati that 0-0 was like a shocking performance. That was a really shocking performance. Morata missing, Koke missing a bunch of chances. And if you think about the teams that have won the World Cup and Euros and stuff, there's only one player that's remaining, and it's Busquets in that team, and he's not gonna do anything. He is that sweeper in
yeah,
front of the defense. He's not gonna do much. You're gonna rely on people like a Gerard Moreno. You're gonna rely on Alvaro Morata, Pablo Sarabia, these kind of
yeah,
players. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't see that even against the Poland team, when you thought that they were going to win, they go and miss a penalty, like a clear-cut chance for you to actually grab those 3 points and then sit back and defend.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I mean? Not why would you, but it's unfortunate. But what can you say? Like it's just a dull performance by them in this tournament. Like they've
yeah.
we know they've drawn both their games, and they've drawn in each of their last 4 major tournaments, which is pretty bad for a Spanish side to coming into this major tournament like this.
And they have
Oh,
a great
well,
squad.
And
The
they have a
squad's
great squad.
insane.
well,
Great keeper,
Niyati,
great defense.
I
Yeah,
just got to ask you though. I mean, now Spain, even though for all their struggles and stuff like that, they're coming across a Slovakian side, which again also no pushovers. They've been playing pretty decently in this
yeah,
tournament with a shout as well. So, would you make a case for the Slovakians probably getting something out of this Spanish squad?
for sure. I think the goals that they have scored so far, Slovakia, they've been really that like strong. I don't want to say underdog because even they have great players in their team. Okay, they're not playing like underdogs at all. Um, so I think this is going to be their, if they beat Spain, this is going to be their big claim to fame. They're going to be on the pitch just crying with joy. Um, but I don't know. It's another very difficult game to kind of predict what's going to happen because, like I said, they've been playing well. They've been very fast paced. They've actually, yeah, their losses haven't been that bad.
Yeah, I mean
kept up
they've been playing very tight
pretty
football.
well.
As you said, they haven't lost badly in this tournament.
No, and the other teams in the group, they've also just been showing up. I mean, their last game that they played, the game that they what was the game that they
Sweden.
drew? They drew the
That was
game.
against Sweden, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
No,
They
they
lost
no,
lost
that.
that
that.
was
They
They
lost
lost
that. It was
Sweden.
Forsberg at the
yeah,
end, I
that
think,
was
who
the
got the
one that
goal.
they
Yeah.
lost. Correct. But yeah, no, it's not been bad at all. This is the one group where you're not seeing like, this massive 4 goal difference and stuff like that. It's been a cold group. Hopefully the games that are coming up will not be that cold. I really hope this group brings that pace
Hopefully.
down for these
Yeah,
games.
yeah, yeah.
Fingers crossed. As I said, it is the last match day. And Kyle, I'm going to ask you quickly for your score prediction. Slovakia versus Spain.
I think Slovakia might just take this, to be very honest, because like I was saying from the beginning, Hamzik, man of the tournament, man of that group, rather, not of the tournament, man of that group. He's going to make his 130th appearance today. So who knows? Or
Okay.
probably
Niyati, do you
1-0.
agree?
1-0
Do you
over
agree,
there.
or do you think the Spanish team still have to get the best out of themselves and they're going to show themselves up today against the Slovaks?
I think the Spanish team's going to open.
Ooh, okay.
I have a feeling they're going to score the first goal in the first half, but I think Slovakia is going to recover second half. The Spanish side does have a few yellow cards floating around. Hopefully, if they don't if none of them get sent off today for doing something absolutely uncalled for, just out of frustration. I think it'll be. I want it to be 2-1 to Slovakia, but if I go by what I've seen so far, I think Spain will open and Slovakia will equalize. And I
So we're going
think
for a
it'll end
1-1 draw.
I think it's going to be a
Oh,
1-1 draw. Slovakia
so
hasn't
what?
drawn yet, so you never know. But I think this one's also going to be a 1-1 draw.
Absolutely. So 1-1 draw there and 1-0. Kyle Pereira playing with fire. Well, good. Actually, decent predictions. And now we're going to move to our final group, the group of death. Dun, dun, dun. And our first match, the big one of the night, Portugal versus France. Niyati. Everybody's trying to get out of this group, and it's a big game for all 4 teams, I think.
Yeah. For me, Portugal, France would be the two that actually go through. Because I think, I think Germany's first game, they came in looking a little bit overconfident. That the German side scoring own goals, I was shocked. Unfortunately, though, if he didn't do that, they would have scored. He didn't have a choice. Mueller had to take that shot and try and defend and kick that ball out. And but yeah, I think it's going to be a super tough one. Although Portugal seeing France just from seeing club football, they have a stronger side.
Ooh, and
Every
KP.
single player is
Yeah,
fire.
I mean, no, you got a good point there, Niyati. And
Got a
KP,
good
I'm
point.
sure you're going to have to make a case for Portugal at this point, even though you don't want to. But it's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's basically Goa versus France. I'll just keep saying this. So, what do you think about this game?
I mean, I really do want to make a point over here for Portugal, considering your beloved Bruno Fernandes plays over there. But I can't only because of the fact that Portugal have only won out of the last 13 matches against France. This is the fifth match between them. The last four matches between the pair have only seen 3 goals. So not a high-scoring game from the last couple of matches. And France, obviously unbeaten in their last 11 group stages at all major tournaments. So they're favorites to go through. But having said that, from what I see in the predicted lineups, I mean, obviously Cristiano is going to start, and obviously on the other side, Antoine Griezmann is going to start, and Ronaldo is the highest scoring European footballer with 19 goals at both the World Cup and Euros, and Griezmann with 11 in both competitions. But it's hard to call, to be honest, because, like I said, Portugal, as we saw the last game against Germany as well, they're the first team to concede like that 4 goals in a single half in a major tournament like that.
Yeah, I mean, they were completely blitzed by the Germans. But then again, we can't take the Germans lightly in any tournament. Even though they do start slowly sometimes, they do tend to find their feet. And, we're going to get to that game quickly. But Niyati, I'm just going to ask you again, though. Please don't tell me this is going to be another draw, though. But what do you think is going to be your score predictions of this game?
I think it's going to be, it hurts me to say because I think Bruno and Ronaldo have been combining really, really well. With Jota backing them up as well. It's beautiful football on the pitch. Again, like Portugal's been great games. I think there's going to be like lots of goals this game. My prediction is 3-2 to France.
Ooh la la, oui, Kyle Pereira. Oh no, Kyle Pereira. What do you think? I mean, again, it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a fun game. But what do you think would be your prediction, Kyle?
I don't think it's going to be high scoring though. I just think France is probably, if Kylian Mbappe plays in front of Pepe rather. Pepe doesn't have the legs to run at Kylian. We all know that in a foot race they will not catch each other. I see maybe a 2-0 to France, just on the outing that I could see what Kai Havertz did to Portugal, what Serge Gnabry was doing to Pepe. Like they were making him run around in circles. So, I mean, probably 2-0 to France.
Kyle, you better check your phone now. You're probably going to have all your friends who are Portuguese fans probably like giving you galis over there right now. But we're going to go now to our last game. Again, now, this is also another going to be... It's an interesting game because it's Germany versus Hungary. Hungary has probably an opportunity here to probably play spoiler to everyone. And Niyati, where do you think this game is going to take us? I mean, Germany are clearly the favorites, though.
I think Germany is going to win. I think this game for Germany is going to be them kind of beating their hands on their chest and saying like, this is who we are. These are the champions that we are. We've had a tough time with the other two teams, but we'll show you that we're consistent. We'll show you that we're going through. So Hungary has a lot to fight for tonight. But they've got people to fight. Like, this is what I was saying. The pace that we've seen in the Euros and may not have come from the previous group, this group definitely has. Like, we're watching Germany fight back for literally everything that they can get. I think they've missed a lot of shots. They've had a lot of shots. And for some unfortunate reason, there have been so many that just haven't gone in. I think it's been the same with Portugal as well. And I think Germany will take this one. For me, my prediction for this would be the same as Kyle's for the previous one.
Well, that's reason enough to say. But I mean, Kyle, I'm going to ask you though that the Hungarians, again, they were unfortunate in their first game against who was it? Against France. No, sorry, Portugal. Sorry. Yeah. And we all know, like, there was a deflected goal. There was a very soft penalty. There was also a rather possible offside goal. And then they hustled and, they took the lead against France and they held them 1-1. So you can see that the Hungarians aren't pushovers. They just need to focus a lot. So would you give them a case against the Germans, or it's just going to be Die Mannschaft, like Achtung, and that's it?
I mean, I hope Hungary do come out of this group, considering three teams can come out of this group because this is the highest scoring group. And if we go with goal difference and the points that The points is least 3 points, and if you're above 4 points, you get automatic qualification in round of 16. So three teams can come out of this group. Hungary I could possibly say that, but I can't go against what Niyati also said, that Germany are going to show how well drilled they are under Joachim Löw, and they are going to go for that win. And the last two times they faced Hungary at the Allianz and at Budapest in what's that stadium's called?
The French Puskás Arena.
Puskás Arena. The aggregate is 5-0. They've beaten 3-0 and 2-0 in the previous two occasions. So you can't bet against Germany in this one. As much as I'd like to say Hungary are going to sort of, I don't know, pull a fast one, or however you want to term it, I don't see them going past this team.
It won't be faster than Gnabry. There's no chance they're going to be pulling fast ones faster.
But having said that about fast goals, the Germans scored 4 goals in 302 seconds against Portugal. That was the quickest in this tournament to score 4 goals. I can't say anything. And same with like how you said that Hungary got really, really, like sort of their mistakes led to their goals, whereas even the France unfortunate, right? I mean, even the France game, you saw Willy Orban. If he didn't have to touch the ball so awkwardly, Griezmann would not have got the shot. Same with if they didn't have to make that tackle in the Portugal game, the penalty wouldn't have gone. So things can go wrong, I guess, but I don't see Germany going out in this. I mean, fingers crossed if they do, because this is the team England is going to face. So.
Yeah, coming to that. Yeah, this is the group where England's going to play one of these 3 teams. And Niyati, I'm going to come back to you. And again, I know you already made the Germans the favorites, but do you think it's going to be an absolute blitzkrieg, or is just going to be the Germans being very conservative, get the foot off the gas, and take a 2-goal lead and just chill out after that? Or it's just going to be
the Germans don't chill out. With Hummels, Kimmich, Müller, they're going for glory, man. I think this is the game where they're going to prove who they are, and they're going to prove like the emblem on the front and the name on the back. This is it. They have that chance which they knew they would not have with Portugal and France. Now the unfortunate part about the German side is I really hope they don't go in overconfident for this game. I hope they play careful. I mean, even the goals that they scored against Portugal, they scored those because there was like precision and textbook crosses and goals. It was fantastic. The first 3 goals were just cross in and shot, cross in and shot, cross in and shot. If they play like that, there's no stopping them. There is no way that Hungary is going to keep up with them.
So your final score prediction?
I think it's going to be 3-0.
A 3-0 steamrolling of the Germans. KP, again, this is the team. I mean, Portugal did show that they did find loopholes in the German defense. They do play a higher line and stuff. But of course, Portugal is no Hungary. So again, what do you think would be your score prediction in this game?
Probably 2-0. But if there is someone hungry with a 1-0.
Well, I hope the ghost of Ferenc Puskás is probably looking down at them and blessing them. But guys, that wraps up our episode for today. Niyati, it has been a pleasure having you with us. Kyle, the usual as well. Thank you guys for joining us. For those watching right now, I hope you do share, like, and subscribe. Please go to our Instagram channel. We do have a wonderful fantasy football page where you can join and win bragging rights. We haven't decided whether we're going to give a prize, but we'll get to it the more this tournament progresses. And while you're there, you can even say hi to Ballsy. I hate saying that word Ballsy, but he's the name of our mascot. He's holding a ball. He looks kind of cute, a little alien-like. But with that being said, guys, again, this is Carl from the All Balls channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.